Hey everyone, Jenny Teeters here. Every day is a new day, and today is no exception. It's a beautiful day here in South Carolina. I hope that you are doing wonderful. So, today I have something special for you. I am going to give you the secret to being the best version of yourself. I'm going to make an assumption here that we all have an interest of becoming the best version of ourselves. And I say this a lot. If you are like, where should I start? Oftentimes well, not oftentimes, all the time, I recommend that you take out a sheet of paper or get a journal and actually do some reflection on where you're at in your life. Life coaches like myself have a process. We call it the wheel of life. So when working with a client, and they want to do new things, we can't do everything at once. And so we can segment our lives a little bit by thinking about, am I fully satisfied with where I am, let's say, in my vocation or career progression? Or where I am with my health and wellness, which could include body movement, nutrition, and so forth. Where am I at in my social life? Am I lonely? How are my relationships? How am I with maybe even forgiveness or maybe conflict in relationships? So our relationships and kind of the social aspect of our lives is one thing. Another could be our environment. Do I like where I'm living? Do I like the house I'm in? Do I need to paint? And then the things that really excite us, where am I at with my hobbies? Do I have hobbies, things I love to do? Things I want to start that have just been in the back of my mind. So, and where am I at, of course, with my finances? So we segment these out, and so this is all encompassing. It could include romance. It could include where I'm at with my startup business. It could be, where I'm at with my habits. But we have to start somewhere. So I think the first place is really a place of reflection, and then to identify that area of that we want to improve. So that said, let's say what we're want to improve is we want to be the best version of ourselves in all the areas of our life. So I have done this many times before where I make a list of here are the 24 habits that I have that I need to change. From now on, I'm going to start doing this. I'm very motivated. I might get a journal. I might get a new outfit. I might get some new tennis shoes. I might buy some, go to the grocery store, buy a bunch of clean food. And then that day comes and it's too much. It's overwhelming. And then I'm back to going, okay, I want to be the best version of myself. And where do I start? So we'll assume you have an idea now of where you'd like to start and you have the intention to being the very best version of yourself. Oh, and one thing I left off in that wheel of life is faith. Of course, where we're at with our relationship to that which is greater than us or God or our higher power. Where we're at with faith or spirituality. So that cannot forget that, of course. Um, so let's narrow it down. All right. So my recommendation to you is that we start very, very small. And you probably know this, that our habits, the things that we do every single day, or the behaviors that we have that we need to stop. So let's say there's something we need to start doing and something that we need to stop doing. Um, Starting very, very small, choosing maybe one thing we want to start doing and maybe one thing that we want to work on stopping doing. Even choosing those two things is enough. It's more than enough. It's twice as much. So you could choose to stop doing something and making a lot of progress and being the best version of yourself. You could choose starting to do something and being the best version of yourself and moving towards that. So we're going to start really, really small. And I'm going to share with you a methodology that helps us understand why it's so hard when we have this intention and we've identified all the things we want to change, why it is so difficult to try and do them all at once. Okay, so there is a beautiful model called the Fog Behavior Model, FOGG. So you can go and search that and read a lot more on what I'm going to share with you. So when it comes to habit change, when it comes to starting something new, um, this fog behavior model has a process called MAP, M-A-P. The M stands for motivation. So how motivated are we to start doing this one tiny thing that is going to move us towards being the very best version of ourselves? And the A stands for our ability. So, how easy or how hard is it for us to do that one thing that we want to start doing to move towards being the very best version of ourselves? So, you've got your motivation. If your motivation is very high and your ability is very high, then that is going to be, maybe something a little easier to do. If your motivation is low, so let's say that New Year's Day, that day after watching Jenny Teeters Every Day is a New Day podcast, I'm motivated, I'm pumped, I'm going to be the very best version of myself. And the next day comes, I stayed up late, I have a cold, I don't know, the power's out, there's a hurricane. What is it? The election's not going my way. What is it in our lives that are changing our state where our motivation is not as high? So what is the kind of the tiniest, smallest step that we know we can still move forward in being the very best version of ourselves when our motivation's low? Because when it's high, it's no problem. And then similarly, our ability. So let's say I'll use an example in my own life and what I'm working on. So let's say motivation is really high, but maybe where we're at is inability is very low. We need to start small. So let's say I want to start running again. I've completed 3 marathons in my life, innumerable 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons leading up to all of the training and races that led me to marathons. But it's been over a decade since I have run any length of time more than, I don't know, a minute in a row. I want to run. So if I am going to decide I'm going to go run, my goal is not going to be to wake up and run a mile or run 5 miles or even probably to run 5 minutes straight. So my ability in running is low. But if I want to be a runner, and that to me is the best, version of myself is Jenny is out there again and my heart rate is up and I'm, um, just really moving my body and enjoying the movement, enjoying running with other people, challenging myself, all of the reasons I used to do this, then my ability right now is low. My motivation's high, my ability is low. So that's where we can kind of find ourselves on this axis of motivation and ability. So the P in MAP, M-A-P, motivation, ability. The third is the prompt. So if we want to start something new, we definitely want to start small and we want to attach that new action, that new behavior to something that we already do automatically. So for me, one thing I automatically do every day is wake up. That is the one consistent thing about me. Once I wake up, I typically use the restroom and then I head back to bed and I do my prayer and meditation. So I like to start my day off and my mindset off, very centered in my faith. So once that's done, so I do those every single morning. So those things are consistent. And so were I to attach, then I'm going to get my fitness outfit on and my running shoes, and I'm going to walk out the door and I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes and I'm going to walk out the door. And then I'm going to come back. So that is easy to do. Is it a mile? No. Is it 5 miles? No. Is it 30 minutes? No. Is it couch to 5K? No. It is literally just starting for me to go out, get dressed, suit up, and walk out the door for a very small amount of time that is doable. And when I come back, then I want to celebrate. I want to have some kind of like a physical, I don't know, dance party. Taylor Swift has a great song that I like to dance to for 3.5 minutes. So a dance party, something with my pumping my fist. I'm like, yes, like that is like me. This is just like me, Jenny, the runner. And then I start to embody this future version of myself or the best version of myself. So as that example, let's use another example. Let's say what you want to do is to begin a prayer habit. You want to begin a journaling habit. You want to begin wake up and read something habit. A lot of a lot of my clients, what they want is to work on their habits. And a lot of these are things that the morning is the perfect time because we always wake up. We always wake up. So attaching something to this thing we do every single day is a really good time because when we wait until later on in the evening, our motivation could be a lot lower than it might be in the morning. So, that might be I wake up and on my nightstand is my journal and my pen. And so maybe for a journaling exercise, and let's say that's the new habit. Motivation is high to journal. Ability, we can all write, but maybe the thought that we're doing it right. Maybe we look at a blank page and we're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to put on the page. So maybe the first map process for somebody who wants to start a journaling practice is wake up. I've already set the night before my journal and my pen next to me, and I give myself a timer that I'm going to write whatever's on my mind for 1 minute, 1 minute of journaling, whatever comes to mind, and then celebrate. So that is really Fogg's behavior model is understanding ourselves that when we're setting our goals, oftentimes our motivation is really high, but set the activity to begin with when it kind of future proofing when we know our motivation could be low. So if our motivation's low, what could we be doing that's easy, that could be a win, that's going to feel good? And very similar to when we're on social media and somebody likes what we post, or we look at email all of the time. This is Microsoft is a genius with this. Our prompt says there's an email. Oh, I'm going to look. I see the envelope. I might have something interesting, in my inbox. We have these habits because there's kind of a payoff, a reward. So that celebration at the end is really important for us to build in that reward. And then we're going to slowly build that habit. But we want to start really small. We don't want to start with too many things at once, one thing at a time. So we start to build this practice of understanding that we need a prompt. I wake up. We need the new habit, the new thing. I get dressed, I walk out the door, or I grab my journal or whatever that is that you want to begin working on, and then we celebrate. And so that model is how we begin to build. And once we begin to build this practice and understanding that this works, then we can start to stack new habits, but one at a time, and one tiny, tiny habit at a time is what is going to get us towards the best version of ourselves. So I think give yourself some time to daydream. If you're not living the best version of yourself, give yourself a chance to think about that wheel of life. How's it going in the career? How's it going with fitness or movement, your wellness and mind, body, spirit connection? How's it going with hobbies and fun? Are you lonely? How's it going with connection? How's it going with faith and the feeling of connection to that which is greater than you? So we have this entire wheel of life that we want to spend some time reflecting, and then choose the one thing that you want to start doing, only one, and map it. So how is the motivation? What is your ability? And then what will be that prompt, that something you already do that you're going to attach this new habit to? And then again, start super, super small and then celebrate. So that will be the reward system going, okay, that felt really good. I want to do it again tomorrow. I want to do it again the next day. I want to do it again the next day. And then you can begin to stack, the next things. So that is the secret to the best version of yourself, and a little psychology around habit change and really how to have a successful new habit. I've made the mistake of buying habit trackers where I list, 9 things. From now on, I'm going to drink 64 ounces of water. I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to go to the gym 6 times a week. I'm going to every single night plan my next day, and on and on and on and on. I'm going to engage in my hobbies. I'm going to do this project. And I can tell you, I have a tendency to want to do many things at the same time. And therefore, I am peanut butter spread, and I'm doing like a little bit. A little bit without really, really going all in. So this has really changed my life and the habits that I have wanted to move towards. And I feel very happy living the best version of myself, with the exception of my goal of running. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So I don't want to leave you without the other one. If you're feeling ambitious, how to remove a habit. Oftentimes, there are things that we are doing in our lives that we don't want to do any longer. And let's say that is using our phone, too much. We need like a digital shutdown. Sometimes what we need to do then is, set a time. Maybe that's bedtime. Again, we need to kind of attach this to a time of day that where we can be very consistent, and we put the phone in another room. We don't have it in our bedroom, or we don't have it nearby, or we put it in a closet somewhere. If it's websites that we don't want to look at anymore, somebody that I follow, he has an addiction to the news. So he wants to make sure there's no access to looking at the news because he can just get sucked in. And then of course there's lots of news going on in the world, and like any kind of social media scrolling, we can get sucked in. But what I learned from him is it was affecting his mental state and his emotional state by consuming all of these headlines. So he wanted to really limit that, and so he had his children help him put his phone away, so that he wasn't looking at news websites too much. It could be, for me, one of my favorite things to do is to watch TV shows at night while snacking. And oftentimes I'll miss dinner because I'm thinking, I know I'm going to snack and I don't want those calories. And this is like bad for me, not the optimal mindset for health, that I skip dinner so that I can snack while I'm watching TV. And with TV, Netflix binging, I've persevered. I'm on like season 12 or something of Blue Bloods. So I click next, I click next, I click next. I mean, then I snack, then I snack, then I snack. So it's really an unhealthy habit. So for me, I needed to detach eating and watching TV. So I've actually taken a pause from relaxing in the evening by watching shows in my cozy chair with my little snack table, so that I just I needed to separate myself, like kind of from that room, from my laptop and food, and disassociate a little bit. And it's not easy because that's where I soothe and relax. Needed to find a different way to do that. And so the different way is actually to head into my room at bedtime, not out to a not out to a place that's an eating area, to start eating dinner, and filling my body with nutritious food so that I'm not hungry for snacks. But that has been breaking that habit, and that way to soothe myself has taken like a year to understand what the attachment was, and then to slowly like reduce the screen time, reduce the snack bowl size, I just had to make small steps in taking away these prompts. So it's kind of like the map in reverse. I had the prompt of I'm done with work for the day. Could be 9 o'clock at night, could be 6 o'clock at night. I want to go chill. And then this relaxing and eating was lasting for a long time. So that is the bonus. But I would suggest start thinking about what you want to change, and do you want to be the best version of yourself? And then which area in your wheel of life do you want to begin working on? And then from there, use Frog's behavior model and think about your motivation and your ability, and just choose one. Just choose one thing you want to start. And if you really want to, if you really want to challenge yourself, then think of one thing you want to take away. But really evaluate and notice what your prompts are, what's prompting that thing you're doing that you want to stop, so that you can make a change in what that trigger is. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening in to this. Being the best version of myself is a passion, and I do a lot of learning so that I can teach and coach others on how to be the best version of themselves in every area of their lives. If this is something that you would like to actually talk through with me and get a few suggestions, you are always welcome to schedule a complimentary call with me, 45 minutes, to go through what your goals are and your wheel of life and things that you want to change. And I'm very happy to give you some complimentary time. So you can visit my website, jennyteeters.com, and book a call with me. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take good care. And as always, God is lovingly watching over you. God is lovingly watching over me. Don't forget that. Have a great day.